3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Plutonium Show. This is, by the way, 99, so we're one short of 100.
One short. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do for 100.
Nothing. We're just going to show up.
Nothing? Just nothing? Like, not even, I don't know. It's like, can we wear a suit or something? I don't know. Whatever it is, if we do something, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah, because I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I.
My second last video, I believe, it was called The Crisis, and it was about censorship. We are in the midst, as we all know already, you don't need me to tell you, of a censorship crisis. Would you agree?
I would, absolutely.
So even though that was 2 weeks ago, something happened. I think you all know where I'm going with this. Over the past couple of weeks, since the First Lady of Nigeria made comments about being naked, you know, and the unacceptable sort of dress standards that some Nigerian women apparently are emulating from American actresses. I'm not going to play the entirety of the clip. We all know what it's about. It's old news by now. But the AFP, which is the abbreviation for Agence France Presse, I think that's how you say it. Agence France Presse. And this particular agency has been involved with this whole censorship stuff. Now, by the way, this episode is not, we're just using this as a springboard because the main gist of this episode, as I'm hoping the title will eventually reflect when I come up with one, or if I use the one in my head, is basically, hey, AFP, we see you're interested in fact-checking. Have you considered fact-checking Meghan Markle and Prince Harry?
Yeah, that's kind of, as we kind of warmed up to. It's funny how they pick and choose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's selective fact-checking.
Yeah. Funny how it's like, oh, this is for Meghan Markle, so we'll fact check this. But then this is against her. This is directly saying something, you know, fact checking something she said. No, we'll let that slide. So sounds like an agenda to me.
Yeah, and if you type in Meghan Markle on the main AFP website, fact check website, you will see that there really doesn't seem to be anything, not one thing, fact-checking all of her provable lies.
Yeah, if they had done anything for Meghan Markle on this website, that search query on its own should have at least, I want to say, average maybe 200 minimum articles.
Yep.
Because here we are in episode 99, and every episode we've had several things that needed to be fact-checked that Meghan has said that just weren't true.
Ironically, this is what content creators and even authors like Tom Bauer and Valentine Lowe, they've been fact-checking her.
Yeah.
And we've been fact-checking her, and she hasn't been able, at least until now, to sue anyone. So the hits here, it's basically zero. There are zero results for Meghan being fact-checked.
Yep.
There are a few posts, like it goes beyond the Nigerian First Lady. There's another one that caught my interest about Meghan copying Princess Diana's outfit. So I've opened that one up as well. So we'll get to that. But apart from those two, there are 3 more. That's it. And you can check them out in your own time. So really not much going on here to fact check Meghan Markle. I don't know how much they were paid, if they do accept payments, bribes rather.
Just because someone doesn't say they accept payments doesn't mean they don't accept payments.
Well, what's interesting is if you look at their about page, it tells you their mission. You want to read that because people love your voice?
A multilingual, multicultural news agency whose mission is to provide accurate, balanced, and impartial coverage of news wherever and whenever it happens in the world on a continuous basis. AFP speaks with an independent voice free from political, commercial, or ideological influence. These commitments are reflected in AFP's charter and editorial standards. Whoa.
But yeah.
I'm glad we did it that way around too, because it really does poke a lot of holes in what's said here. If you're not going to talk about Meghan Markle, if the AFP thinks Meghan Markle is small fish and it's not worth it, whatever.
That's fair enough.
If they want to ignore it,
yeah.
But if they want to protect Meghan Markle and then let everything slide, then there is nothing that's free from political, commercial, or ideological influence.
Absolutely.
It just breaks its own rules, and the entire world has caught on to Meghan Markle by now. So if you come out and defend Meghan Markle, we know you have an agenda. We know there's something wrong with you, whether it be, and I'm not saying the AFP is necessarily corrupt, but every single person who defends her, the spotlight's on you now. Where are your skeletons in the closet?
Well, it's interesting because, we don't have proof they're corrupt, but sometimes the writing's on the wall, you know?
Yep.
It's, I mean, how else can you explain this? It says that under French law, the agency is required to never compromise the accuracy and objectivity of the information it provides. Okay, so we have a problem here because I guess we can just segue into the Nigeria's First Lady commentary. Now, we know that she didn't specifically call out Meghan in a direct way. She was a senator for, I believe, 11 or 12 or 13 years before she became First Lady. So she's not just some president's wife.
Yeah.
You know, she's got brains. And when I watched that video without any context, I just watched it without reading any commentary from any other YouTuber, not the Sidley twins, not anyone. And I just listened to it. It was crystal clear to me, read between the lines. She talks about not being naked and how nakedness is not part of Nigerian culture and that Nigerian women are already inherently beautiful and they don't have to do that.
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about Nigerian culture here. Other cultures, Western cultures, which we're a part of, we have different, traditions and standards and norms. I'm not saying that if you do dress the way Meghan does, you are lesser than or you are wrong or immoral. But every country, as we mentioned in the last podcast, has its way of life that visitors should look into and observe and respect.
Mm-hmm. And Nigeria is far from the first country to have a little bit of a different standard to what the American culture is too. Mm-hmm. There are several countries in Europe where dressing up like that is a little bit, they would interpret it as not appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't something new. And, no country should force itself upon another country by being a tourist, arriving and dressing how they like. Being ignorant is one thing, which I would hope everyone would do their research before traveling. But knowing that and then going right against that is another thing entirely. So, but that's another tangent in itself.
Yes. And so she talks about that. We get it. And then she talks about, being kind of looking up and emulating those American actresses, at the Met Gala or whatnot. And then her segue, her connecting the dots was basically saying, these people don't know where they're from. They don't know where their roots are. Take Meghan Markle, for instance. She came to Nigeria to look for her roots. How can anyone with two brain cells not see what she was saying?
Yep.
But the point of this discussion that we're having right here is, continuing on from my crisis video, the fact that we have departments, agencies, telling us what is right and what is wrong and how we should understand things and how we should interpret things is in itself problematic.
Yes, especially when the line is clearly drawn that they will ignore a person who's happy to spread misinformation and yet call out other people who want to speak against that person. This is no longer fact-checking. They've destroyed their entire reputation overnight.
And they've single-handedly named a YouTuber.
Oh, so now it's going to be a hit piece.
Exactly.
Yet, when someone wants to speak up against someone potentially not respecting one's culture, that's not okay. No, we can't do that. No, won't do that. But as soon as it's about Meghan Markle, no, rush to the defenses. Yeah,
so they've accused Nancy Sidley Sussex of spreading misinformation because she's not even the person who broke the news, by the way. She is one of the people who interpreted it exactly the way that I did and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of others did.
When you showed me that video, because you showed me it you don't show me a lot of things, but you showed me this video, which when I saw it, I understood it the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
It is as clear as daylight. If you had that written down on paper, the part about being naked and Meghan Markle in the same paragraph, and when you write things in the same paragraph, they have some relation to each other. That's the way I understood it. The way she is saying it is as if it's the same thing. It flows on. There isn't that pause of, all right, now I'm going to speak about Meghan Markle. No. Meghan Markle and being naked in Nigeria are two related things.
Especially when she made those comments, a mere few days after Meghan left?
Yeah, she did not wait for anything to cool down.
No. The timing is crucial here. She's not saying this 3 years after the fact or before Meghan showed up and dressed the way she did, or if Meghan had shown up and dressed respectfully. Then we can say she's not referencing Meghan and she's just talking about Meghan looking for her roots.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. This is common sense. So AFP fact check is attacking a content creator for saying what we all understood as well and accusing her of spreading misinformation. But then when it's Meghan and Harry spreading their misinformation, it's crickets.
Yep, absolutely. And here's another little connection, right? Because Meghan loves attacking content creators. Meghan loves calling out people who want to call her out. She wishes she could silence people. So the fact that the AFP didn't just come out and go, oh yeah, First Lady of Nigeria, yeah, whatever she said, you've misinterpreted, you sheep who can't make up your own minds for yourselves. But the fact that they went after someone who was a content creator.
Yes. The First Lady herself never came out and denied.
Nope.
So what happened was their office told AFP Fact Check that she wasn't criticizing Meghan's dressing. And she said that she meant Meghan appreciates the people we are and hence her coming here. Now, again, this is her office in an email to AFP Fact Check. Of course, she's a diplomat. She's a politician. Look, I don't want to put words in her mouth. Maybe we all misunderstood her. Maybe, let's play devil's advocate. Maybe the First Lady didn't mean Meghan was dressed inappropriately and young women shouldn't look up to her because she went to a school, as you know.
In a skin-colored dress.
With her back exposed. There were young girls there.
Yep.
They might look up to her. And again, I'm not saying that women, I wear backless things. I don't wear flesh-colored things because they don't look good on me. But my point is, this isn't the morality police. This is, again, the context of a person who was ostensibly, look, for all intents and purposes, it was a royal tour.
It was. And I think that everyone can agree that if you're going to visit a school, you don't dress up as if it's a nightly ball gown event.
I said that in my video. It's like you don't dress up like you're in a Met Gala.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I know you want to go, Meghan. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry you're not, popular enough to get an invite, but
that's every event for her. Every event is focus on me, look on me. It's all about me, me, me.
It's always about, people call her Mimi again or Meghan or me again,
Me gain.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's what it's all about. Actually, that's what my last video was about. If you watched The Performer, and if you didn't, go ahead and do that.
Go watch it.
Another example of AFP rushing to Meghan's rescue. This was actually, I missed this, all the way back in September 2022, 22nd of September. This is after the Queen's passing. May she rest in peace. Now, there is something that is false, which was the date of Meghan's outfit here in question. People were saying apparently that she wore this particular outfit at the Queen's funeral or after the Queen's funeral. When the truth is she actually wore it on, I believe, Remembrance Day of 2019. But then they go on to defend her copying. They go, her outfit respected the customary dress code for the 1918 armistice commemoration. I'm sorry, this would be true if, number one, it wasn't almost identical. But number two, more importantly, there is a context here. There is a background. There is a history of Meghan Markle literally cosplaying Princess Diana.
She set the stage. She's done this. We're not going to suddenly go, oh no, she's not doing it at this one instance when it's all she does. It's all she does. The evidence is right there. Bring this before a court. Bring this before a jury. It's 12 out of 12 conviction, copying Diana. That's it. It's so obvious, yet AFP thinks that we're all dumb, we're all sheep, and we'll just believe anything they say because they fact check.
Well, this is what's concerning. What's concerning is it's beyond just getting the date wrong, and it's beyond just correcting things. It's literally making her arguments for her.
Exactly, which sounds like it's her mouthpiece, like every other media publication that speaks for her. It always reeks of her words.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? Omid Scobie in his flop of a book, Endgame, last year, she can't keep her story straight, basically is what I'm going to say now. Because here she says, I wasn't copying her. This is just the uniform. Well, I mean, if it's true, just have a look at Catherine, have a look at the Duchess of Edinburgh, have a look at everyone, Queen Camilla. No one is dressed in an identical outfit to Diana. If that was the uniform, if that was the expected get-up, then you would see everyone dressed in almost identical hat shape, coat, whatever.
Exactly. Look, I'm a guy and I can tell you these are identical. You know, I don't normally pick out these details, but even just looking at these two photos side by side, it's clear as day. It is a uniform, Meghan. It's Diana's uniform.
But that's just one version. Because later, a year and 2 months later, when Endgame came out, Omid Scobie says Meghan and Catherine, but I'll talk about Meghan, was told to deliberately dress like Diana. So she admitted, basically through Omid, that, yeah, I dress like her, but that's because the men in gray suits told me to.
Right, because anyone can tell you to do something and you'll listen. Yeah, that checks out.
But isn't it funny? That's a great point. But also, isn't it funny how the story changed?
Yeah, if it was the truth, the story wouldn't have changed.
It keeps changing and drastically.
Yes, and it's always someone else's fault. This and that and the other. It's like we can see right through you no matter how many fact-checking police you send after us.
Last Friday, 7th of June, was the wedding of the Duke of Westminster, who is also the godfather of not only, I believe, Prince George, but also Archie. Now, we're still in the fact-checking realm here, by the way. Bear with me. Late last year, I've actually have 2 pages comparing the news about Harry and Meghan's attendance at this wedding. First, which I will hopefully put up on the screen as well, I filtered it to between November and December of last year. Because what happened at that time of the year is that headline after headline, the story was Meghan and Harry were not invited. Now, this is a big wedding, Zach. Big society wedding. The Duke of Westminster is, I believe, richer than the royal family.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty big.
So they're worth over, £9 billion or something. Really huge, non-royal. So they're aristocrats, obviously. It's a non-royal duke, but huge family. So it was a big deal. And Prince William was there. Unfortunately, Princess of Wales was not there because she's not ready to be out in public yet. But Harry and Meghan were not invited, at least per the reports, in 2023. Mm-hmm. It's literally headline after headline. You'll see Harry and Meghan not invited to billionaire friend's wedding. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex reportedly discounted from the Duke of Westminster's mega wedding next year. Sad reason behind Harry's wedding snub.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you have all the reasons. News.com.
Real reason Duke of Westminster axed Harry and Meghan from his wedding guest list. Even People magazine, their mouthpiece, which is now, changing the story, of course.
Oh, now they're hopping on a different bandwagon.
But 6 months ago, they said Meghan Markle and Prince Harry left off guest list for longtime friend's wedding over royal rift. You get the gist.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole first page of Google, just endlessly there.
Now, let's look at the non-filtered version from only a few days ago. People magazine first hit. Why Prince Harry missed the Duke of Westminster's wedding. Harry and Meghan were never going to accept Duke of Westminster's invitation.
You can't accept something that's not given.
Why Prince Harry won't be at pal Duke of Westminster's wedding. Why Prince Harry declined, this is Vanity Fair, an invitation to the Duke of Westminster's wedding. Mm-hmm. Why Prince Harry skipped. Prince Harry declined invite. People magazine. It's endless.
Hey, AFP, you've got a job to do. Do it. Oh, you know where to be seen? Oh, didn't see that coming, did we?
So basically, the story now is that Meghan and Harry didn't want to show up, and that it'd be awkward or whatever, and then overshadow the couple, the married couple.
I'm sorry. If Meghan is queen of anything, it's trying to overshadow every single living being on this planet at every event she goes. Meghan Markle saying she didn't want to overshadow something is like saying water isn't wet.
Absolutely. The thing is, this woman literally, again, AFP, where you at?
Yeah.
This woman has a track record of specifically, deliberately overshadowing brides or whomever she wants to overshadow.
Even school children.
No, but I'm talking specifically weddings.
Yeah.
In the law, we have tendency evidence. It's not always admissible. There are conditions, at least in Australia. I'm talking about Australian law. But tendency evidence, where you introduce evidence which shows that the defendant has a tendency to do certain things to make it more likely that they did it. They introduce that evidence to bolster the prosecution's argument, basically. And in this instance, Meghan has a track record of going to weddings in particular.
Yep.
And announcing her pregnancy, for instance.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember one of her good friends, Eugenie? At her wedding, she decided to deliberately, strategically wear a specific type of coat, even though she was barely showing. And they literally announced it, I think, at the reception. And it's just, you can't make sense of it. How can a human being, and she's apparently your friend too, do that?
Oh, it's actually a simple reason. What is it, Occam's razor? The simplest solution is normally the right one.
Yep.
She's pure evil.
I suppose. But what I'm saying is, now they're saying, oh, it's because they don't want to overshadow the couple.
No.
But that's, as you said, that's all they ever do. She's been to another wedding where she deliberately unbuttoned her top so that her bra would show.
Yeah. At a wedding. What's wrong with you? But that's just the thing. It's like everything's wrong with her. She can't show an ounce of decency to anyone around her. The only person she cares about is herself, and the only thing she cares about is validation from everyone else.
I agree, but we know this. And she's been doing this for years. She's never going to change. But why isn't AFP fact-checking these articles that say that actually, no, Harry was invited. They just chose not to come? Is it the truth? And if that's the truth, then why weren't the articles from 6 months ago claiming that Harry and Meghan were specifically not invited, not fact-checked?
So either the AFP didn't do their job 6 months ago, or they're not doing their job now.
Yep.
But either way, isn't it interesting how the AFP doesn't want to do their job when it comes to something that could make Meghan look bad?
And that's just the beginning. How about they fact-check How about they fact-check her claims of being a humanitarian? Maybe they should start there. How about they fact-check her soap commercial story?
Yep.
Which Tom Bauer already did. And guess what? It's been almost 2 years since his book was out. And she hasn't sued.
How about they fact-check the entire Oprah interview?
Absolutely.
Where were they during the Oprah interview? As someone who is now a part of the royal family suddenly starts spouting things about the royal family, which, if true, would be mind-blowing. However, we can all poke holes in it and go, none of that makes sense. And yet the AFP is dead silent.
Yeah, all they have on that topic is this one. On March 11th, Facebook posts share fabricated Trump tweet following Oprah interview with Meghan and Harry. That's it. I'm not even opening it because we're running out of time. But that's all they chose to fact check.
So if the AFP isn't going to do their job years and years ago, back with the Oprah interview, if the AFP isn't going to do their job from everything from the Oprah interview all the way until modern day, and if the only time the AFP is going to speak is on behalf of Meghan Markle, that's all the evidence I need.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not even from the Oprah interview. They should fact check Meghan's stories from the beginning. That's why I said the soap commercial. All of her claims, working in Argentina, part of the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires. Really, Meghan? Because that wasn't a 5-week internship that your uncle scored for you that you flopped. There are so many lies
Yep.
that could be fact checked if you want to go down this fact checking route. Because again, the fact that there are fact checkers
Yeah.
is insane to me. The fact that AFP needs to come out and tell us how to understand and interpret the First Lady's speech
Yep.
is exactly what I talked about in my video, The Crisis. So again, if you haven't seen it, I've had to re-upload it. I've had to take it down and re-upload it. So it took quite a hit. But if you haven't seen it, do have a listen. And I hope you can learn something from it. I know I did in just the research. And it's nothing mind-blowing, but it's this, almost medieval problem that we are experiencing. People think it's a problem of the past where, the Inquisition was the gatekeeper of information, in 16th century Italy, and people were burned at the stake for, saying things that went against the beliefs of the church. Apart from burning people at the stake today, how is this any different?
It's just people defending the Church of Meghan Markle. That's all it is.
To be fair, she's not the only one.
No,
she and Harry,
absolutely not.
they're just small-time players who are dumb enough to do this in the open.
Absolutely.
Everyone else is with 2 brain cells is doing it, but behind the scenes.
Yeah, and if she keeps on going, she's just going to keep exposing the corruption of everyone who would affiliate with her.
Exactly. So AFP, I'm going to be honest, I'd never heard of them before. I'm sure they're a well-known organization. But now it's, why should I believe anything the AFP comes out with as a fact checker?
This little misleading banner that they've got with white writing and an orange banner, I think they should post misleading on their own logo. I think that's the right thing to do right there because, but what are you going to do? Everything you say is either for Meghan Markle and everything against her is dead silence.
Yeah.
Someone should fact check the AFP.
Yeah. If we're going to start going down this route, then who's going to fact check the fact checkers?
Yeah, especially when they've missed the mark so many times.
Where does this end?
Yep.
Who is the ultimate arbiter of truth and accurate information? This is ridiculous. I would rather we all lived in a world where information was available, it flowed freely, and we have to use our brains and either research something, is this true? I'm going to go research it. I thought that's how we lived our lives.
No, unfortunately, some people will fall for this because it has fact checking in it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're counting on. But again, I think the AFP underestimates the intelligence of humanity.
Absolutely, because I'll tell you what, this misleading, as you said, about Nigeria's First Lady, that sticker, it's done nothing but raise more attention to the topic and get more people going, what the hell's wrong with the AFP? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think that's all we have time for today, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think we've definitely delved deep into perhaps the wrong people to look at when you want your facts checked.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And really not a good look, AFP. And you know what? If you're short on things to fact check, then Meghan Markle will give you endless content.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
I mean, it's just there. It's free real estate. It's right there.
Come and get it.
Show us that you're not bought by Meghan Markle. Show us that she's not donating to your noble cause.
Yeah.
Show us. We'll be waiting.
And that's it.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this 99th episode. And we hope to see you soon in the 100th.
We'll see you there.
Bye.